Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Jalen and Friends. This podcast today is being brought to you live from my hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. Today's topic will be covering yet another contemporary sports issue, this time regarding compensating collegiate athletes. For years, the growing issue about collegiate athletes and the significant amount of revenue that they bring to their schools and the NCAA has been discussed. These players, many of them African American, have contributed significantly to their respective universities through the endorsements, partnerships, sales, and deals which their talents in sports such as basketball have brought. However, these players are not allowed to receive any of the monetary benefits from any of the revenue in which they contribute to. Rather, universities reward these high revenue generating players with full tuition, unlimited meal plans, expense-free travels, and free tutoring services. On those on the side of not compensating collegiate athletes, they present several arguments. One of those is financial irresponsibility. Amateur players don't know how to manage their own money, and there wouldn't be anyone to guide them with their financial decisions. Also, compensating collegiate athletes would lead to unfair competition between players, as the questions of will each player receive the same amount and what about top level talent will be introduced. Also, in theory, it would bring problems between players due to one teammate potentially receiving more money. Athletes also may never go to class, as there will be no incentive to go to class. And lastly, compensating collegiate athletes will remove athletic, competitive nature and passion for the game. Players will only take on a pro mindset, and since their only motivation will be money, no longer developing their skills. However, I am in support of compensating collegiate athletes for several reasons. Compensating collegiate athletes will allow them to support their families. Many of these athletes come from urban low-class families. Players would be able to actually afford to send money back home. By compensating collegiate athletes, players also will stay longer in college. Many of these athletes often leave school early because of the unimaginable pressure to be the main provider for their family at a young age. Players wouldn't have to leave school early and would still be able to pursue an education while taking care of their family back home, thus increasing graduation rates while allowing fans to see their favorite players mature through college, while also ensuring coaches are preparing athletes as much as possible for the next level. Compensating collegiate athletes will also limit corruption from external influences such as agents and boosters. Over the years, we have seen and heard of scandals involving players taking money under the table and even point shaving, which has led to the loss of their sports scholarships. By compensating athletes, you will eliminate this. Also, isn't compensating collegiate athletes giving them what they deserve? The average Division One player is worth $170,000 per year, with the 351 Division One basketball programs taking in more than $4.5 million in revenue on average each year. Lastly, the principles concerning labor and wages also applies to collegiate athletes. Likewise to residential assistants or advisors, also known as RAs, they put in countless hours of labor and time outside of the classroom, which takes away from both their academics but also the opportunity to generate revenue elsewhere. If the residential advisor can be compensated for their services, then there should be a level of compensation also for collegiate athletes, as well, since both of them enjoy benefits provided by the school in non-monetary forms. In conclusion, collegiate athletes should be compensated as it will allow them to support their families, will allow them to focus more so on their academics and sports as well, and will eliminate external influencers and corruption from agents and boosters.